I don't understand how it happened at all. I don't understand how they put so much effort into keeping her from me, but they couldn't put the same effort into knowing the people that they had around her.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Jay is for Justice. My name is Jay. I am your host. Today's video, we're going to get into some statements from Audrii Cunningham's grandparents and also the video of her mom on Nancy Grace. What is going on with this case and these people? Seems like everybody's passing the buck. Let's get into it.
So it was Thursday evening. I'm going to say it was like 7 o'clock. Tabitha herself had gone and contacted or went to the home of my fiance's mother. And
not even a minute in, and I'm already questioning this because didn't Audrey go missing when they realized she didn't get off the bus, which would have been at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon? And now she's saying that Tabitha is the grandmother, the paternal grandmother that was living with Audrey. The paternal grandmother contacted Cassie, the mother's fiance's mother, instead of contacting Cassie directly.
Was asking her if she knew where we were, if we were there, and had said Audrey was missing. Now his mother instantly calls him, of course, and she makes her get on the phone with me, and she's telling me that she's missing and asking me if I had seen her. And of course no, I haven't seen her. I honestly wanted to ask her if it was a sick joke, but I didn't. And I'm used to a lot of crazy things from that family. So when she said no, she's missing.
So Cassie, you said that the paternal grandmother, Tabitha, went knocking at your fiance's mom's door looking for Audrey. Did they call you immediately?
Of course, my fiance's mom called him instantly, and she told him that I needed to be on the phone ASAP, and then she put Tabitha on the phone and made her talk to me.
Okay, something doesn't sound right here. Maybe the communication was supposed to go through a third party between families. I'm not sure, but this right here is already just an ultimate failure for that little girl. Just this family unit, if you will. How dysfunctional is this? Don't forget either that 10 days or so before this, it was little Audrey's birthday. Did her mother see her for her birthday? What's really going on here behind the scenes before little Audrey went missing?
Why didn't she want? I mean, I would think she would have called you first. Had they been blocking you seeing Audrey?
I haven't had any type of contact.
She doesn't say no, but she doesn't say yes.
The last bit of contact that I had with Josh, where I was once again begging to see my daughter in any way that made him or her comfortable, whatever I needed to do, I had to do that through my fiance's messenger.
Whatever made him or her comfortable in her fiance's messenger. I'm so confused. But then we've got the fiance's mother being contacted by the paternal grandmother as well.
So the grandma shows up at your fiance's mom's place looking for Audrey. Then your fiance's mom has her call you. And what did she say?
She tells me that she's missing. She didn't make it home off the bus. Asked me if I had seen her, which that's a crazy question because you haven't allowed me to see her in so long. And
meanwhile, these are the text messages that went on with Audrey's mother and Don Stephen McDougal. He's trying to get her to come meet him with Audrey. But she states this was on Wednesday night, the night before Audrey went missing. So I guess I have a couple questions ahead of this. Did anyone see Audrey that morning? because I think the dad went to work and he was already gone. And Stephen McDougal, the babysitter, was responsible for getting her on the bus. Where were the other family members? I'm not sure that we've heard. We will get a statement from that family after we listen to the rest of Audrey's mom's interview.
After that, I had told her about how Stephen had messaged me strangely out of the blue the night before, and that I would share the messages with her. And then I asked her where Stephen was, and she went from
Are you referring to the defendant, the murder defendant, Don Stephen McDougal, age 42? Is that who you're referring to?
Yes, that's who I'm referring to.
When they asked where's Audrey, what did you say?
I, of course, told them I haven't seen her. And in my mind, I wanted to snap and tell her, of course I haven't seen her. You and your son haven't let me see my daughter in how long now? But I didn't because I instantly wanted to know where my daughter was. That was the thing that took over.
You also asked the grandma, where is Stephen? And we know
yes,
that to
I
be
did.
Stephen McDougal.
I had told her about
Why?
Him messaging me out of the blue the night before, and told her that he had said to me that he was going to take her to school that morning. And I asked her where he was and had she seen him. And she went from hysterical to stuttering, I gotta go.
So the mom told the grandmother about this guy texting her or messaging her, and the grandma, she says, abruptly hung up. But we also know that Stephen McDougal was going door to door. This monster went door to door looking for her with the family.
You told me earlier she went from calm to hysterical.
No. She went from hysterical to stuttering, and she had to go.
Oh, as soon as she realized that Stephen McDougal had been with
Yes.
Audrey, she had to go and hung up the phone.
It was her stuttering the word, She didn't have anything else to say other than, I gotta go. Now in the 911 call, you can clearly hear him in the background.
Okay, now Audrey's mom is going to explain what happened after she found out that Audrey was missing.
Well, the next thing that happened was I am being advised that it would probably be best, well, advised, but not advised, which makes no sense to me, but that is what has been said, that I should stay put in my own home. And then shortly after that, my fiance, and the roommate that we have at the time, we're getting picked up.
So it sounds like a real stable environment there, just saying. So their roommate at the time. It hasn't been that long since this happened. Audrey went missing February 15th. It's February the 28th. So they've already lost a roommate since this happened? What?
By the sheriff's office and investigators. We go and we spend, I think it was almost 16 hours up there. Now the entire time I'm being asked 20 million questions that I'm able to answer with no problem. They keep trying to say to me, I feel like there's something you're not telling us. I feel like there's something you're not telling us. The sheriff's office and investigators. We go and we spend, I think it was almost 16 hours
As
up there.
you should.
Now the entire time I'm being asked 20 million questions.
As you should.
That I'm able to answer with no problem. They keep trying to say to me, I feel like there's something you're not telling us. I feel like there's something you're not telling us.
So you were there, your fiance was there, and your roommate was there, and they were peppering you with questions really about where's Audrey? When have you last seen her? Did you take her? Did you hide her? Questions
and about the messages between Stephen and I from the night before.
Yes, those.
And they were asking me if
Now that's very curious, Cassie, because I find those text messages that McDougal sent you very, very incriminating for him, because he is playing on your emotions. He knows how much you want to see Audrey. So basically, Cassie, McDougal is using your daughter as bait to lure you down to the river where her body was later found. Why was he doing that? And claiming he was going to keep it secret from her dad. What was he?
So she claims she didn't know this guy, didn't know that he was her babysitter but he knows her desperation and her level of desperation in order to manipulate her? How? I feel like we're missing a huge piece from Audrey's mother. I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like there's more to this story. Plus, the dad has been friends with this guy for a long time. So if she was with the dad at one point, how does she not know who this guy is? Strange.
What was his game?
Well, when he first approached me, and see, when I say approached me, it was all through Facebook Messenger. I've never had his number or anything like that. But he had said that he was Audrey's babysitter, which was instant red flag. I didn't understand. But he had said that he wasn't going to pick parents' sides, that he was concerned about what Audrey wanted and how she felt, and that he thought it was wrong for her to be kept from me if she wanted to know me. So he played on the fact that I was desperate for anything. I wanted pictures. I just anything that had to do with my daughter. And for a minute, I could have believed that. But then I thought more into it, and I just knew something was wrong. And I had been speaking to my family about it. I'd been telling my fiance told me from the jump not to associate with him in any way. Do not.
And here's another clue that kind of leads us to believe that they knew about this guy's record. Why would her fiance say, don't associate with this guy? More to the story, I'm telling you.
But he doesn't understand how I was feeling when I was craving something of my daughter.
Did you have any idea this freak was your daughter's babysitter?
Not until he had messaged me, and I had tried to contact Josh, wondering what the is going on. And I asked my family over and over again if they could try to contact, and they tried to get no answer. I wanted to know why a man that nobody knows is being left with my 11-year-old daughter. I mean, he could have chose anyone else under the sun, and it would have been okay.
But wait a second. They could have chose anyone else under the sun, and it would have been okay. Really? Secondly, this guy that she supposedly doesn't know is trying to lure her to see her daughter, but she doesn't think anything about it. But she says that she had no idea this was the babysitter. He's trying to lure her and bring the girl somewhere, and he's worried about parents' sides, and she's believing this. Something ain't right.
But when he invited me down to go fishing to see my daughter, well, for one, I knew better. But at this point, knowing what I know now, I feel like he did something to Audrey Wednesday before he even messaged me, and that if I would have went, he would have gotten rid of me as well, and then it would have been chalked up to I kidnapped my daughter and I ran with her, and people would have forever been looking for two people that don't exist, not looking in a river.
So you believe this was part of a bigger plan. Why do you believe, Cassie, he needed, in his mind, to kill Audrey?
I don't understand that at all. Actually, I can understand the little bit of hatred that he would have for me, because I would be the only person that could remove her from the home, where he was already residing.
What does she mean she's the only person that could remove her from the home? She just got done saying that she hasn't been able to see her in a long time. Why would this woman be a threat to removing Audrey from the home? She's not making sense, guys.
I have no idea why he felt the need to. Actually, you know what? And this is, oh my God, it makes me sick to my stomach to say, but I have no idea why he felt the need to. Actually, you know what? And this is, oh my God, it makes me sick to my stomach to say, but I think that in a pedophile's mind, they see a child and they see their actions as an adult would see another adult.
Okay, right now she's justifying this guy's actions. In her own way, she's justifying a pedophile's actions.
Okay. I feel like maybe he was in love with my daughter, and he thought that maybe at one point she did say that he was her favorite person or something like that. Maybe he was good to her.
So he misunderstood Audrey? Is that what I'm understanding from her mother? Stephen McDougal misunderstood her actions because a pedophile sees a child's actions as an adult's.
But she was looking at him as nothing other than an uncle, the way a child should, if at most.
Cassie,
But what if
do
he
you
was
believe
what if
he
was in
had
love with my daughter?
already?
What if he tried to make an advance on my daughter, and he didn't get the reaction that he wanted?
Didn't get the reaction that he wanted.
He either snapped or he knew that she would tell. That is what I think.
Guys, this is one messed up situation. Woo! Let's get into the grandparents' statement.
Len and Mia, that's right. Audrey's grandfather, Captain Philip Munch, reached out to me today. He says the family is still deep in shock, but they now want to start to set the record straight. Their first public comment since Audrey went missing on February 15th. Tragically, Audrey's death occurred at the hands of a monster we thought was a friend, only 10 days after Audrey's 11th birthday, the family wrote. Family writes, "We are being attacked and criticized on social media platforms for showing compassion and mercy to this formerly incarcerated person. But our interactions with this person were a result of our faith, which teaches us to give our fellow man a second chance." McDougal has a lengthy criminal history dating back to 2001, but his 2007 conviction of enticing a child with intent never required him to register as a sex offender. The family says the system failed them, telling us, "McDougal had a history of disrespect for young female children, but it did not show up when we checked the registry before allowing him to stay in our backyard."
So these people expect us to believe that they ran a background check on him before allowing him to stay there. Do we believe this? McDougal had a history of disrespect for young female children. Disrespect? What? But it did not show up when we checked the registry before allowing him to stay in our backyard while he tried to start a new life? These people moved him in and let him babysit a little girl.
While he tried to start a new life. Had we been aware of what we know now, this man would never have set foot on our property, much less been a part of our little girl's life. Audrey's grandfather sending us new photos of his granddaughter.
I think we can all agree that the system definitely failed little Audrey. And don't you think that the real problem here is that this man was even allowed to plead down on a child molestation charge? He should have been required to register because he should have been charged with the proper crime. I'm not buying the story they're selling. Breaking down everything we just watched, I see a bunch of people trying to cover their asses.
Her grandfather telling me via email they've been viciously attacked on social media. They're hoping that by starting to comment publicly, that starts to die down. At some point next week, he tells me they do plan to do interviews and answer questions in person.
Well, that ought to be interesting. I personally can't wait to hear them answer questions because a lot of people, I think, failed Audrey. So we are here for the duration. We're here to see through justice for little Audrey. This happens all too often. It just makes me sick. Thanks for listening to this update. Make sure you sound off in the comment section below. This is a hard one, guys, but these kids deserve justice. I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to check out my other videos and playlists for more true crime content. And if that's not enough, you can join our Patreon. Don't have a tinfoil hat? It's okay. We'll make you one. It's that easy. See you guys in the next video.
See you later. Bye.